Welcome to the Bold Book of the Day with Dr. Denise Nicholson, a show that is a central hub and safe space for authors to share their stories. The Bold Book with Dr. Denise begins now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the Bold Book of the Day. My name is Dr. Denise Nicholson, and this podcast is for anyone looking for inspiration. Today, I am so honored to have Mr. H.L. Howard. Welcome, Mr. Howard.
Hi, Dr. Denise. It's an honor to be here.
Oh my goodness, I have been waiting for this opportunity for a minute, and I'm so glad. Your debut novel, A Journey Must Be Taken, has been described as a captivating exploration of faith, love, and spiritual growth. What inspired you to write this story?
It's a long story.
Tell me we got time today.
A Journey Must Be Taken playlist. It's a contemporary romance book, partly based on my real life experience, mostly on my corporate life during the pandemic time. It won Independent Press Award 2024 on the religion fiction category. You say that my background, that was a billboard on the Times Square. So they have announcement, they project on the big TV screen. So I'm very proud of that.
Wow. Now, tell me a little bit more about where you're from and how you decided to write this book that has changed so many lives so far.
Yeah, my name is H.L. Howard. That's my pen name. I live in the Fairfield, Connecticut. So I have been learning so many in the college. I learned MBA. I came to United States, learned the MBA at the Baruch College, City University of New York,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went to study software engineer at the Fairfield University. So I have a pretty uh, versatile of the topic I learn,
Mm-hmm.
but I never get into the writing career until one day during the pandemic. You know, everybody of your listener still remember what happening during the pandemic time. We stay at home. You know, always bad news, heartbroken news coming. One day, I was on the way to my office, accidentally click a video on the social media. Um, I'm Taurus on zodiac sign, so that video is about what Taurus is unfolding in their corporate life or the social life. Uh, the videos talk about the career change, the huge change coming. I do not know. I didn't know what it was. I got in the office. Everybody from my team called in the conference room. A layoff was announced. Um, you know, I was in that room. It's like just shocking. This is exactly what that tarot reading talk about, and that tarot reading also mentioned like you are protected, angels is with you. So I was thinking, if I'm angel, protected, angel with me, I should be okay on that time. And it turns out, yeah, everybody in that conference room is okay. That's company-wide layoff. Uh,
So everyone in that room was protected.
yeah,
Oh wow. And you were a part of that.
yeah, I'm far
So, oh
away.
wow. So the reading was correct.
The reading was especially accurate. And like
Wow.
from there, I starting to feel something. What they talk about is resonating in my life.
Mm-hmm.
During pandemic time, there is nothing to do other than your work from home, watch video. For me, it's like, oh, I found this wonderful things. I continue to follow up. And the more I got into it, the more I found out it resonated what happened in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, there's literally little voice in my head to say, this is such a mystery story, such a wonderful story. I need to bring this story out to the public. I may get a award or Nobel Award someday.
Oh, wow. You never know. Wow.
Yeah,
You
you
just
never know.
never
That's
know.
how I started to writing, 3 years up to now. I took the ride. Here is the result. I'm here to talk to you.
Look at God.
How-
I realized that your novel have a lot of different elements. Like it talks about romance. There's a little bit of spirituality in there, and you even mixed in some music playlists. How did you come up with the idea to weave in these elements together?
so the book is about um, the protagonist in order to position the character. So the book is about the modern romance book. In this story setting, uh, its protagonist and hero have the age difference. You know, hero is pretty much like afraid to be exposed to the public, to the relative, to the social norm. So hero invented this kind of pretext as love languages, baby talking, crypto-like love language to express the feeling. So the music, when you look at the playlist, there are usually is made of two parts. One is the name of song, another is the singer's name or the band name. So when you have read through it, the combination will provide you much of imagination space and dramatize the situation. So that's where naturally use that as a way to lay out the storyline.
Beautifully done. Oh my goodness. I think that's one of the reasons why it's captivating and it's gaining so much attention because of all of the different elements that are intertwined. So, the protagonist, you were going to say in this story, is well, the protagonist's journey involves navigating different obstacles and, like, has a significant age gap, the cultural difference, and the challenges of falling in love during a pandemic. How did you approach this? Like, really, how did you approach this theme when you were thinking about writing this novel?
So if you know, if you ever get in touch with tarot, uh,
Uh-huh.
tarot is a deck of cards. So
Mm-hmm.
all the tarot doing is tell a story, a full story.
Mm.
So a fool, they don't care of anything. They
Mm-hmm.
just want to pursue their passion. So they go through each stage of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Emotion in tarot, which represented by sword, or that you have wealth, or you have more emotions. So tarot card going through all the tarot card is representing each stage of their emotion growth, their mentality growth, their wealth growth, and their interpersonal scale. So this story is more like they try to model a fool's journey. If you will say, sometimes I always think about the foreign scam, which that movie impact a lot of like my writing in this book.
Wow. You did a lot of research.
Yeah, there's nothing to do in the the pandemic.
I mean, the pandemic has changed so many lives for the better. I know it was tragic and a lot of things happened, a lot of people died, but so many people have come through it with a different perspective, a new business, having accomplished things that they have put aside for so many years. And you're one of them. You came up with this beautiful story. And so have you been doing tarot reading before or researching tarot before?
I never touch, never even get exposed by tarot
Oh, wow.
until that moment I mentioned to you.
Wow. You
I
mentioned,
I treat
yeah.
the tarot, the oracle, those reading as mystical, superstitious. I I I never get near about it. For
Mm-hmm.
me, it's like I think the religion, uh, Jesus Christ, all those things, real
Yeah.
things, can impact
Yeah.
people's life.
Listen, I have the same reservations because I was raised in the church and we were taught, not to pay any attention to those things and to just stay away from it. So I'm like you. I'm one of those people who just never even looked at it.
That's right. Specifically on my situation, as I told you, I never exposed to those kind of phenomena or knowledge.
Wow. Now, how did you incorporate the Torah readings into the storyline?
So every twist and turn, started the story, end of story, or the twist and the turn into different direction. There are tarot reader referenced, real tarot reading. There are 87 tarot reading referenced in this book, and then it will be such a little bit complete understanding if I can include the tarot reading itself within the book. But because of those are content are copyrighted, so I will- I'm very sorry to I only can refer the metadata at this point.
Right.
But I have confidence that this book is unique.
Mm-hmm.
Is even though I reference tarot reading, I feel that the idea itself it's not come from my mind, original thought. It is the higher intelligent power applying into idea into my mind. Or in another word, I am making bold statement. Well, I don't want to like jump the gun.
Go ahead, make it right now. Let me hear it. Go with the flow. You just got to go with the flow.
Yeah, so the bold statement is there is a higher intelligent being is
Mhm.
broadcast the flash through the energy in the air, in the space, invisible space. It's
Mhm.
like a river come down and people can utilize it, can download it. If you can tune in that energy,
Mhm.
you will make you successful whenever you focus on your energy on.
Mhm.
I use my example is the book is one of the example. I never know. I don't actually write anything
Mhm.
in my 30-year corporate life. Do the presentation, run a PPT, and that's another writing. Write the project, uh, you know, uh, project layout. That's the meeting notes. It's not writing. This is real writing, writing from the different perspective, or layer over layer, and a plot over plot. So it's totally different perspective. I think I don't think I have that kind of skill and knowledge. I can do it alone, but I do think at the specific twist and turn, I do receive those kind of download, those kind of knowledge, um, which make me believe this is a good thing, good turn to end this chapter and get into next chapter.
Were you always in tune like that? And I know you said that you have 30 years of, experience in the business world, but were you always in tune to getting downloads and thinking about what do I do with them, or this is just brand new because you had the time to just stop.
Not at all. In the corporate life, everything you do is planned. You
Mm-hmm.
just go there to do research, you finish the task, and quarter by quarter, it's a little bit like the what do you call it, the survivor survivor story.
Ah,
You survive this
the
run.
corporate world is like the
Yeah,
survivors,
it's like a quarter by quarter. You got the past, and then you're moving.
and you survive and move on to the next.
Yeah, next quarter it's like that. That's
Oh wow,
that's corporate life.
that's tough. Corporate life is tough.
Yeah, but yeah, it's tough. But people live on that, and just need to go ahead of a curve.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that never have that mentality to have the good thing said. Let me think. There's a download, or I wouldn't have the chance to realize to say there is some download. There is a high innate intelligent power, which have some information I can use.
Yeah, you weren't in tune to that at the time.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's because, we are so busy. Believe that when we stop and meditation is also one of the things that just advance you, man. It just takes you to another level. When you find the time to stop and to reflect and to just empty your mind and just wait, you know, you get so many different inspiration creatively. And that's probably what you were doing. Like you just stopped. So your body could now express itself creatively, and you were able to. I believe those thoughts were, you were always that creative. You always had that wisdom in you. But when you get the time to stop, you can pay attention. It's like traveling on the highway. Have you ever been driving along the highway and you take the same path every day to work, and one day you get stuck in traffic and you realize a beautiful building on your right, because now you're stuck in traffic, you can see instead of moving that fast ahead. It's not like it wasn't there before.
Right. That's correct. That we're moving so quick. We never have a chance to slow down our life to say, to feel that what a wonderful world it would be. Tarot reading always causes us grounding. Uh,
Mhm.
and some tarot reader offer some advice to say, how do you ground? Right. You can find the couple of things you touch it, found of some good smell like food to flower to smell it, put your feet underwater like on the beach to
Mm.
feel it. So in that way you can really enjoy on now moment. But to my experiences, I think that we are, maybe this is a bold, another bold statement.
Go
I
ahead.
would say, from my experience, my research, uh, is something, the spiritual self discovery is a force for us to be utilized.
Mhm.
I think that our spirituality growth is a next human evolution evolution at this point.
Mhm.
When we grow, for myself it's grow my spirituality, like you said, pray, meditation, and for me is I like
Mhm.
to play tarot reading at the same time, to walking on the beach or writing. um, I enjoy, in the car I play tarot reading. As I drive, I can relate this reading to my personal life, especially on things I'm care about.
Mm.
Find out a lot of things. Uh, it's coming from those virtual space, which could be verified. Uh,
Yeah.
for example, if I have a writer's block, someday I just don't want to write anything. I don't know how to write, and I would go to beach and listen to some tarot reading. Uh, I can easily find out tarot reading said, "Hey, next week there is divine gift coming." I don't know what that does.
Mm.
But when that time comes, you feel you can write in pretty quick way and very innovative. So if you say that the tarot reading is describe an invisible world, a parallel universe with what we experience,
Mm-hmm.
there from this experience there might be the idea, the this virtual gift as kind of like a formed energy down to from universe flashes through our earth's atmosphere at some specific point. When we tune in, your brain accepts it in some way. That writing imagination is activated, and you can for me it's like I can do most effective work there.
Mm-hmm.
Like yesterday I was writing the book and translate into a movie script. I never write the movie script before, but I was able to for the last uh, 4 weeks I was able to starting to read some sample, writing the movie script, and I'm almost done today. I need another week to get it done.
Wow. So all of these opportunities are coming your way now.
It is.
How do you how do you see yourself now that you have become the authority, become an author, which means you're the authority. Now, how does it feel to become this authority?
I I did not feel anything difference before. I feel like I'm just a person to broadcast, like bring this kind of the energy information to this human society.
Mm-hmm.
Try to let more people adopt it, understand it, try it. If it can benefit for me, it will benefit with everyone else.
Wow. You know what? You never know. I have never even thought of trying it before, but I think now I'm going to look into it and to see what kind of benefit does it have to for me. Yeah.
I've, that's another bold statement.
I see you're making a lot of bold statements.
So, what's your zodiac sign?
The before we get there, I'm going to ask another question because your writing style, it has been described as lighthearted yet emotional and rich. How did you strike a balance between humor and deeper emotional themes that are in the story?
The um, in during the pandemic time, we stayed at home. Every information bombarded us with the bad news, heartbroken,
Yes.
sad news. So that was a lot of information coming in. Floyd's case, or the quarantine.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I feel like I need to write something in contrast with those situation, leave my reader the impression to say there is a bright spot in the life.
Mm,
There is the uh, lessons to learn,
yes,
experience to carry. Only across the obstacles, the good things waiting for us.
yes. Oh, yes. Oh, write that down. Across from all the bad things that are happening to us, the good things are waiting. They're there. That's beautiful. That's poetic, Mr. Howard.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, because it shows the wisdom and the experience. You've seen that no matter what is going on in your life, it must come to an end. The end must come, no matter how long it's taken. And there is beauty and joy and rich and peace at the other end. Just keep holding on.
Yeah, for my case, I'm new for this. I wrote the book 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
I never hear like a new one. Like author said, they wrote the repeated write the book. I wrote 8 times
Mm.
in before I literally gave out to my editor, gave my team to do the all the editing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that that is something it worth to celebrate once you cross that obstacle, that that situation over there.
You're such a winner. It is not easy to write a book, but I heard you said you have a team that helped you. And tell us a little bit about the writing process and how you set up a team to help you get to this result, because it's so hard to write a book. It is it's one of the hardest thing to do, because a lot of people, they started and they think that they can capture this because so many others have done it before, and then when they get into the middle, halfway there, they're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know this was going to be so hard, and they give up. How did you manage? How did you, except for getting that team together, how did you manage to complete this project?
As I said again, like that's a bold statement. Everything in my life, I can relate it back to a tarot reading. Tarot reading is kind of your cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
Tarot reading is kind of a mirror for your life. If I will say it here, it just read your mind, read what you're thinking, and then interpret by those tarot reader with their life experience. They will talk about the next step down the line, provided because of tarot reading, my understanding is reading the energy, right? Think of
Mm-hmm.
you have the idea, that's energy.
Yeah.
You're talking, that's energy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, it's energy. Frequency, it's emitted out in the space. So we are energy interaction, and those energy could be read out by those tarot reader
Mm-hmm.
to say what is this conversation about, what potentially could end the result, provided the situation could be changed quickly. Like uh, you have another interview, you move to another project,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to have a different thing, those energy change quickly.
Yes.
But every reading, every mirror or cheerleading they have, basically they give us some kind of direction, or at least cheer approach to say, hey, go ahead, you're doing very good on this. How could you not do this to finish your project? If someone always in your ear to say, hey, you're doing very good, go to this direction, you achieve something. That is where
That is beautiful. You said a lot about energy during our interview, and I want the audience to pick that up and not to smooth by it or go over it or not realize how important and how impactful the energy around you is, because you I've learned that we kind of pick up on the energy around us. And when we have negative energy in our space, we tend to become more like the negative energy. So surround yourself in positive spaces in places where you're celebrated, in places where you're encouraged. Like, H.L. Howard here was encouraged to go ahead, keep writing. Although you were just doing this for your first time, because you were surrounded with like minded people with the energy that can push you. It became a force to push you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I didn't want to, overlook that, because it is such an impactful and important part of accomplishing a goal and becoming successful. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Now tell me a little bit about your childhood. How were you raised as a boy? Who raised you? And, where were you born and raised?
I was born in China. Uh,
Uh-huh.
it's a very poor countryside. We don't have the running water. There's not enough food. I was
Like
born
where
when
I'm from.
it's a. I was born poor in that way. But I do have an opportunity. I remember when I was in the childhood in the elementary school. I My family is a teacher. Um, my dad was accountant, so he's managing a room for library. It's room for book. We call it the small library. So those book, which in the Chinese language, along with those book have the anything which is the historical book, novels, everything there. I read every one of them, which you would be surprised to say how much book I read in Chinese, not in English, like the Shakespeare's book, uh, you know War and Peace, and some um, last miserable, and like I can't pronounce it. I've read a
Mr.
lot.
Rao.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I read a lot of book, but those experiences does have impact on me.
Hmm.
Give me a window to say what happened in this world.
Beautiful. We have some similarity in the way we were raised. I was raised in, uh, Sligoville, St. Catherine. When I was born, I was raised there for a short time. But we come from, it's a very poor community, no running water. If you go back there now, the streets are still not paved, and there's still no running water. We still get our water from a tank. Or you set up a tank on top of the house. So it's come from the same, similarities, where we come from some hardship. We come from trying times. But look at you now. Look at what you have accomplished. And I noticed that you incorporated the Chinese culture, in depth in this story. How did you approach that? Showcasing your Chinese culture while also making sure that the story was accessible and diverse to the audience that you reach.
Um, I try to make the story funny and some joke. I know in here you have so many such a different joke style. So I did embedded a lot of ways the game how to play and the idiom people said and the jokes people said. I feel if I bring those elements into the book, it's going to be complete. It's something different, something fresh, something new to the people in the Western world. I'm sure you will. When as time goes on, people read it, more and more people read my book. You will feel different. It's just like fresh.
You explored a lot of different topics in your book, And you also explored that, you touched on love and how love knows no boundaries, whether it's age or culture or geography. You touched on those, and I thought that was interested because that is, that's that's how we know the world. That's what we've seen so many times. No matter where you are, no matter what culture you're from, I see that love is boundaryless. And so, what message would you like for your audience to take away? The main message that you want them to take away about love?
Um, I think that as our society evolve, evolution happen. As I said, our next human race
Mm-hmm.
evolution is the spirituality growth. As society, evolved, people will have more tolerant of the phenomena happen for the or the hot topic or anything like that. I want to your audience to understand, those kind of like boundary does not exist. Only exists in the mind. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
it's a self limitation, and I want to society to be more tolerant with the what everybody treat of the out of norm, social norm behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But that those you think about it is what I'm talking about. The people interaction is energy interaction.
Yes.
If tarot reader read it out, they only read is it compatible. Would they always be in love in a way?
Mm.
They don't understand the age difference. There is no a wealth gap. When people die, like from the one book, um, when people cross the this world, get into another world, and face
Mm-hmm.
God, everybody is the same. There is no there is no age, no wealth gap. There's no uh, you know such kind of difference over there.
Well, I guess I'm now looking into it because I'm hearing you saying, there's no age gap, but that's after you transition into the next world. So what you want people to take away from your book, and the message you want people to take away, is that once you've transitioned, there's limitless or no boundaries to love.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
In the way of love is the highest vibration form uh,
Mm-hmm.
in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, if you went through that process, love sick.
Mm-hmm.
Love sick is a cycle phenomena, is a link you cannot break.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot simply say that, hey, you don't talk to that people, or
Mm-hmm.
you need to break up. That doesn't work. That kind of love sick or the unbroken connection is something, in the spirit, in the mentality, in the cycle link, its highest form of the vibration.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. I, I'm opening up myself to understanding different perspectives, and this is one of them. I've never even looked too hard at tarot reading or tarot. I've seen them being advertised, and it just never caught my attention. Never wanted to, because of my background, of course. So I am learning to look at things with different perspective, and this is one of them, because you were or maybe still is a software engineer, right?
Yeah.
And now so from software engineering to tarot reading, you've opened up your world, learning new things and seeing things in a different light. and been able to create an entire book. So this is a different space for me, and I'm glad you're opening up this space for me because I've never never before. But what is one thing you can say to the audience about tarot reading that we would never know?
I would say don't judge it.
Mm-hmm.
Just choose one something tarot reading, one of reader fit with your you feel like it's you resonate with you, or they sounds good, or they you just feel like good by listening
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
without judgment, and listen it for a week or two. During the you listen to those reading, think about what's happening in your world, what is initiative happening in the world. You will feel like it resonate.
Yeah. I feel like the best thing for us to do is to read your book. So get his book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
A Journey Must Be Taken by H.L. Howard. I think the first thing we must do is read the book from cover to cover and then absorb, reflect, and then we can, see what our feelings or what emotions come up and just start to manage those emotions, and or what feelings are you feeling about what you've read, and see how this will change your life, because it's a beautiful story. I've read a lot of the excerpts and I see that you've gotten so many great reviews. Your book has received praise for its unique narrative and the compelling characters. So I think the first thing we should do is read the book, because where you have just surprised so many people by putting together, first of all, you're an engineer and you've written this book. So I think because of your brilliance, I'm going to read your book. And I encourage you all to read a book. Where can we find your book?
yeah, it's available at the Amazon, online. You can quickly do a search. You can Google search it, the name of book, Journey Must Be Taken, and it will give you, URL for Amazon, Barnes Noble, and Ingram Sparks. They running my book over there.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. And thank you for coming here. And of course, I don't want you to go. I know you were answering those bold promises and giving us bold statements in between. And that's so powerful that you incorporated that throughout the conversation. But before you go, I'd like to ask you again to reiterate what, because I love to ask these questions. So, what's one bold promise that you can share with the audience? And you've said it before, but you can say it again.
Yeah, the one bold the promise is, when you grow the spirituality, you will find out that there is a universe energy like the river flow carry you a lot of gift to help you grow, to fulfill your wish.
Mhm.
Just need to hoop down, tune in, grab it, take it on your life. You'll find out your life will change forever.
Yes. Wow. That's a good one, guys. Write it down. And what is a bold statement that you can share with the audience that will cause a paradigm shift?
This is a paradigm shift when you grow your spirituality in the way you found your life is totally in tune with universe energy, which what everybody called is oneness
Hmm.
or serendipity. Serendipity is a set of event happen finally leads to an outcome.
Hmm.
Sometimes when your spirituality grow into the stage, you found out, oh my gosh, this is so hard things to do. This happened, that happened, this happened, but it finally needs to a successful outcome. That is my bold statement. This is a paradigm shift. When
Yes.
you grow your spirituality, you will find out, so everything happens surrounding you is the reflect the universe energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. Everything that's happening around you is a reflection of the universal energy. I got it. Now, what's a bold move that you'd like to make in the future?
There are two bold move. The bold move first is, you found that when my book is translated, is going to go into movie market, it's going to be popular.
Wow. I'm excited. Now I really got to get this book because I love to read a book before the movie comes out so that I can compare and see, okay, what did they leave out and what did I miss? Because a book turned into a movie is drastically different. So I like to read the book before I see the movie. And now I can't wait. Guys, get your book ASAP. Okay. You heard it here first. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much, Dr. Deleuze.
It's been such a pleasure. I can't believe the time flew off so quickly. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, almost 1 hour past, right?
Yes, time really flies. Before you go, one last thing. So, what do you hope the readers will ultimately gain from reading the book, A Journey Must Be Taken, and then watching your movie, which is coming out soon?
Yeah, I want your viewer uh, to carry over, once they close the book, to say, okay, um, there is the universal energy guided us to enable us to fulfill our wish, no matter how dire situation you are.
Hmm.
There is a lesson to learn, experience to
Mhm.
carry. There's good things is on the other side, once
Yeah.
you across, and
Yes.
also trust that there is a high intelligent form,
Mm.
intelligent being is there for us, and we just need to put our burden on their shoulder.
Yes. Yes.
We light it up and carry our life to fulfill our wish, and in that way, really focus on the enjoy now moment, enjoy everything we have, because past is already gone. You, no matter what you do, it's never going to come back. But the future is not coming yet. It may never come as what we expected. So now moment is most you can enjoy, you can focus. That's how we live our life, in the get the most from our life.
Live in the present.
Yeah.
Be present in the present. A lot of times we're not present in we're somewhere and we're on our phone and we're not enjoying being in the moment. Like yesterday I had a quick dinner with my granddaughter and we were having pizza and my phone, for some reason, when news come on, it flashes and the light, and I picked up the phone and I was tempted to continue looking on whatever it is that distracted me. And I remembered, no, this is our special time. So I just put the phone back away and just was present. And I learned so much about her day and what she's doing. So it's just, great, great, great advice. Be present, live in the present. Well, thank you so much again for coming and for sharing and for writing this beautiful book and, sharing all of this new perspective on the tarot reading. And guys, go out there and get your copy. A Journey Must Be Taken. And if you would like to write your book and get your message out into the world, please send me an email at authordnicholson@gmail.com and let's get your book idea out into the world. Thank you so much for joining. See you next time. Bye bye. Thank you, Mr. Howard. You're amazing.
Thank you, Dr. Denise. You're such a good, great host. Your question is really enlightening.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the Bold Book of the Day with Dr. Denise Nicholson, a central hub and a safe space for authors to share their stories. Follow Dr. Denise on Facebook and Instagram at Denise Nicholson or go to denisenicholson.com. Remember, no one can share your story better than you.